Uh, it's the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Yes, it is, and you really know how that go. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun show. My name is Sun, is also O, and you know how that go. This Sunday, we're going to speak on the things that we need to talk about. We about to get it out. Shout out. If you want to, pick up the phone 319-527-6199, and we're going to do that this time for us to get this thing off. It won't be soft. And I'm glad to be here. No bed, no weed, no drugs, no crazy thugs. And we are out, and everything is going to be all right. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's the Urban Therapy with Sun show, baby. On this Sunday morning, gave my stretch up. I'm on it, yawning. Yeah, so we're talking about going for what feels good and what feels right. Going for what feels good. Oh, you know what? Yeah, going for what? I gotta fix this. And it's going down. Hold on. I knew something was missing there, but I wasn't sure how to get it on off. Everything is going to be all right. Yes, it will. Yo, sit back, relax, do your thing, and chill. Going for what feels good and what feels right. A lot of times in our lives, what feels good is not what feels right. And that's like a internal battle that we have to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So when we get into that mode, and that internal battle about what feels good and what feels right, well, we have to make some decisions in our lives, because when we're younger, the lines between what's good and what's bad and what's right and what's wrong are clearly drawn for us. But as we get older, it gets a little bit crazy, crying on shoulder. As we learn and we grow and we become influenced by our peers and by adults and by society, politics, and the community as a whole, you know, sometimes the ends justify the means. And that can clearly blur the lines between what's right, what's wrong. Yo, all y'all come along. So we're going to get into that today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. So hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get a few things in line, because we're not rocking it right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rocking it right now, but I'm gonna get it right. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Y'all know how we do it every day. Speaking of every day, sorry I wasn't on yesterday, but I had an emergency that I had to tend to, professionally. You know what I'm saying? With the thing that pays the bills up in this joint. So I had to go handle my BI. It wasn't no way around it. I had to handle my BI, baby. I had to handle my BI, and everything is all right now. But that was preventing us from being able to do a show yesterday. But we are here today, and we are in full and total absolute effect, and it's gonna be a goodie, baby. Be a goodie, baby. And no if, no ands, no buts, and no maybes. So get this thing post over here. Sorry about these little logistic. Okay, there we go. That's good. I ain't know if it was gonna come out the way I needed it to come out, but I'm so glad that things are working out and not working out at the same goddamn time. All right, so let's get into it. Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it, Emily. Good to see me, some you. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 11 a.m. till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is a Sunday, baby. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, bust it up all crazy, go back and forth with each other. We're having some fun now. Just me and all the gang, learning from each other while we do our thing. We play on the monkey bars, the swings. We push each other up the sliding board, the merry-go-round, the sandbox. We take an introspective look into our own personality and look toward the universe to see how we project ourselves into this thing called life and try to figure it out. How do I fit in this? Is gonna be all right, yo. I won't diss. So I'm your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Urban Therapy with Son Show, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope that y'all feeling like real men and women should on this glorious Sunday, the 27th of June. June is almost up out of here. I know that we only have 30 days in June as opposed to like 31 days, which is like a real month. You know what I'm saying? A real. Okay. So today on the Urban Therapy with Son Show, we're talking about going for what feels good and what feels right. Going for what feels good and what feels right. I mean, people might say, well, what's the difference? If it feels good, how can it not be right? Now you know that a lot of things that feel good to us are not good for us. Drugs, baby. Drugs make you feel good. For some people, it makes them feel great. But you know that prolonged drug use and prolonged drug abuse will start to take a toll on your mind and your body. And whichever one comes first is going to do a job on them. And you ain't going to like the job that's being done on them. You understand what I'm talking about? Do you dig? Do you feel what I'm talking about? Are you here? Do you listening clear? Yo, you here? What's up, dude? So, yeah. Trying to find that balance of what feels good and what feels right. Anything that we do in excess. Some people really feed into their own personal addictions. Personal addictions can never be a good thing. Anything that you abuse, and if you're addicted to something, then you abuse it. Some people say, well, you could be addicted to love. Have you seen people who are looking for love and going for love with reckless abandon? Have you seen the way that they get treated? Have you seen the way that they allow themselves to be treated? Have you seen the way that they treat themselves? So yeah, something can definitely feel good and not feel right. So when you start talking about your addictions, when you start getting into what addictions will do to a person, you're always going to find some friction. You're always going to find some problems. You're always going to find some issues. Because you are overdoing whatever you're overdoing. Wait a minute. Let me find out I'm catching a problem before y'all catching a problem. Look at this. I wrote the number up there. I pinned the number and the number was incomplete. It said 319-527-619. I know y'all ain't going to let the God get away with that. Y'all ain't gonna let me get away with that. Y'all ain't gonna let O do that to you. I know y'all not gonna let the O do it like that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't let y'all get away with it. Y'all ain't gotta let me get away with it. You know what I mean? I'm a big boy. I ain't gonna cry over Punctuation Panthers all up in the house, baby. Punctuation Panthers all up in the house. Okay, we good? We good, y'all? We good? Yeah. So, when you start talking about your addictions, you're talking about overdoing something. So although you might like the way cocaine makes you feel, you know that if you start doing it too well, doing it too much, it's not going to do you very well. So when you sniff coke, it feels good. For some people, they say it feels great. But in your heart of hearts, it's not good for you. It ain't good for you, baby. It ain't good for you at all. It ain't good for you at all. So, you need to curb your addiction to that. You need to curb your use of that. But it feels good. Now, does it feel right? No. You know what I mean? If you knew that coke for example, was good and right, then you wouldn't sniff it or shoot it. Because there's some people out here who still shoot cocaine up. And they say it'll do you a little bit better than sniffing it. It was going directly in your bloodstream. So it's a whole different feeling. Malcolm X talked a lot about shooting up cocaine. He talked a lot about that in the autobiography of Malcolm X. So when you start talking about if cocaine, if you thought that it felt good and felt right, then you wouldn't do it in private. You wouldn't do it only around people who sniff coke. You wouldn't do it in secrecy. You wouldn't have any problem with your children doing it. And that's the thing about people who smoke weed a lot. We're finding out some of the health benefits of smoking weed or using marijuana or whatever. But we know in our heart of hearts that when people, like, if you don't smoke weed or if you smoke it in moderation, it's going to be hard for you to deal with somebody that smokes it all the damn time. That's not a good look for you. That's not a good look for you. And the reason that it's not a good look for you is because you're trying to practice moderation while somebody else is all off the chain with it. They all off the meat rack with it. And you realize that you're never talking to them when they're in their straight mind. But anybody who smokes weed excessively will tell you that they're the same when they smoke weed as they are when they are sober. Thing is, when you smoke weed a lot, you're never sober. Why you think that when you take a drug test and you've been smoking weed even two or 3 weeks behind, it comes up in the drug test because you can't get it out of your system. And if it's not out of your system, guess what? It's not out of your psyche. It's really that simple. If it's not out of your system, it's not out of your psyche. It can't be in there and not be affecting you in some type of way. Alcohol is out of your system in 24 hours. And I'm not here to be an advocate for drinking or smoking or sniffing or shooting or none of that kind of stuff. But when we start talking about going for what feels good and what feels right, we have to use our brains a little bit. We have to start to separate what our carnal desires are versus what our fuck it. I'ma do it because it feels good, and when it stops feeling good, I'ma stop. Yeah, like a slop. What's going on, T Carey? Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always good to have my peoples going directly in your sight. And Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. So good to see ya all the time. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. So yeah, going for what feels good and feels right, and what feels right. A lot of times we decide what feels right after we have had a reckoning, an awakening, after we have been doing something that feels good so long, and it has made trouble for us that we've decided, you know what? I'm going to have to batten down the hatches, slow down, and do what feels right. And that could be in so many different areas. For example, sex feels good most of the time. I ain't gonna speak for everybody, but it feels good most of the time. But when you're having sex with somebody that you know is bad for you, guess what? It doesn't feel right. It might still feel good. If you've ever considered continued to deal with somebody that you really didn't get along with too well, that really wasn't that good for you, but the sex was great. You knew that it felt good, but it didn't feel right. You knew that after y'all got finished having sex, there were going to be a whole lot of problems. There was going to be drama. The good feeling, the temporary good feeling, the half an hour, or even the night that you spent with somebody was going to cause you a whole lot of anguish for a whole lot of nights. Probably all the way leading up to the next time y'all had sex. So it really wasn't worth it in the long run, but you tried to justify it then. But it felt good. It felt good. You know, you got your hands all over my body. You are hot as shit. Yeah, you's a hottie, but in the long run, this ain't no fun because I realize when I get with you, I'm on one or you're on one, and we ain't the two. We can't be together. You can't be my boo. And if you were my boo like you used to be my boo, then I would feel real much better about you, but I can't. And you know I can't, and I won't, and I didn't, and I okay. Yeah, it's real shit. Going for what feels good and what feels right. When was the last time you had a conflict? A conflict. When did the last time, think to yourself, when was the last time that I was in a situation where there was a conflict between what felt good and felt right? Shit, it might have been yesterday. You might be on a diet. You feel what I'm talking about? You might be on a diet and you know that you've been trying to eat right, trying to get your health in order, trying to lose weight, trying to do better, trying to live, trying to be on this earth a little bit longer. So the thing about it is maybe you have a thing for sweets, cakes, cookies, pastries, sweets, juice, high fructose corn syrup items. They be tasting good, son. They taste good. They taste great. But you know it don't feel right because you're supposed to be on this regimen. You're supposed to be on this regimen. You're supposed to be on this diet. You're supposed to be following this meal plan. You're supposed to be working out, exercising. You are supposed to be finding the balance between eating right, exercising, and getting yourself together, and still being able to excuse me, still being able to please yourself. You've been looking for that balance. Well, yesterday, for example, you might have said, fuck it. I'm going to eat whatever I want today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat whatever I want today because I deserve me a break today. And you know how we rationalize that shit. Like, you know, I need a cheat day. People say that shit all the time. People who just started working out, they the only ones I ever hear talk about a cheat day. People who work out regularly, they don't talk about a cheat day. They just talk about a day when they ate whatever they wanted to eat, did whatever they did because they know they're going to get right back on their shit anyway. When you work out regularly, you get right back on your shit. Yeah, yesterday I drank a bunch of beer. Well, I went out and ate dinner with all this fatty food and beef and chicken and seafood and everything. I was just going for mine. But fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no big deal because I'm working out. I worked out that day. I worked out earlier that day and working out tomorrow or whatever, however it go, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, however. You know you're going to get back on your shit, so it ain't that big of a deal. You know, you're not exactly lighting the candle at both ends, burning the candle at both ends, however you say it. But people who just started working out, they always talk about, I need a cheat day. You ain't been working out but 2 weeks and not even consistently. You haven't gotten a routine down yet, but you're so quick to go back to what you were doing before, which was all the way bad. You wasn't working out at all. You know what I mean? You weren't eating right at all. You weren't even taking it into consideration. You were just feeding your face. Okay, it is what it is. But the bottom line is, that you are trying to find the balance between what feels good and feels right. That steak going down your throat probably felt right. I mean, felt good. Mm, mm. But you knew in the back of your mind, I said I wasn't eating red meat no more. I lied to myself. I lied to other people. Whatever. So it feels good, but it doesn't feel right. I said I wasn't. Listen, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. And let me ask y'all, let me put this in the form of a question. Have any of y'all ever been in a relationship so toxic? See, it's one thing to promise God that you're not going to fuck with somebody, or to ask God to deliver you from somebody. And you promise God that you would do the right things from here on in. You can consider me like Jesus. I'm a friend. I am never going to mess up again. I promise you, God. Just do me this 1, 0, 10. Please, if you get me out of here, if you get me away from this bitch, it'll be clear. I swear I'm going to start giving out charity. I swear I ain't going to let nobody marry me. I swear I'm going to get on my joint. I swear from now on, it will be on. I'ma pray to you every night. I won't fall asleep till I get on my knees. Like I said, it's one thing to promise God that you're going to do the right thing because God forgives. But let me ask y'all this, and I need y'all to be honest with yourselves. To hell with me, but ask yourself this. Have you ever promised your kids? Have you ever promised your seeds that you wasn't fucking with somebody no more? Have you ever been in a relationship so toxic that your kids saw how bad you was fucking up, you was into somebody, how bad you were doing yourself, how bad you were letting somebody abuse you, that you promised your 3 or 4 children, mommy or daddy, I'm not fucking with her no more. I ain't fucking with him no more. When you promise your kids that you ain't going to do something anymore, you know that you have been in a certain type of space. And when you violate that, like mommy said she wasn't messing with Mr. Frank no more. Mr. Frank ain't coming through here no more. Mommy promised that shit. Meanwhile, one Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you get up. You getting your cereal, watching your cartoons or whatever. Guess who goes in the bathroom to take a piss? Mr. Frank. Mom, you said you wasn't fucking with Mr. Frank no more, ever. Didn't you say that, Mom? I know, y'all. I know, but, he was in some trouble and he just wanted to talk. So, I just was hearing him out because he called last night and he asked to come over. He said he was in trouble, and that's the only reason he's here. Mr. Frank had to spend the night so y'all could talk, Mom. Why did Mr. Frank have to take all his clothes off? When Mr. Frank went in the bathroom, Mr. Frank ain't have on nothing. Well, he might have had on some pajama bottoms or his drawers, maybe even a robe. But Mr. Frank obviously got undressed. Mr. Frank obviously didn't sleep in the chair. Mr. Frank didn't sleep on the couch. Mr. Frank didn't leave after he was done. Oh, yeah, well, Mr. Frank had been drinking last night, so I didn't want him to, take a chance on drinking and driving and getting arrested and all of that. So you showing that you and Mr. Frank, you still have love for Mr. Frank, which is not uncommon, but you still care about Mr. Frank, and that's not uncommon either. But the thing is, you are still willing to do for Mr. Frank. So you know what that means? You said that you wasn't fucking with Mr. Frank no more, Mom, but you are. You still all in with Mr. Frank. You still all in with Mr. Frank, baby. Robbie Ming, my big sis, doing a thing. She's something like a queen for a king. How you doing, Ma? And hold on. Sander Bretsma? Sander Bretsma? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. But yeah, when you promise your kids that you gonna stop fucking with somebody and you break that promise, that has all of that. It feels good, but it don't feel right in it. Maybe messing with Mr. Frank feels good. Mr. Frank got a hold on you. Mr. Frank may have a mental hold on you, to whereas you feel like you can relate to Mr. Frank on some levels. But the truth of the matter is Mr. Frank is a bum. And he may not be a bum in terms of not having no money, but he may be a bum in terms of the way that he conducts his business. Mr. Frank is over here with you and your kids, and Mr. Frank got kids of his own that he don't never get with, that he don't never take care of, that he don't know where their whereabouts are, and his kids don't know where to find him either. That's how Mr. Frank get down. Mr. Frank pull a disappearing act every time it's time to do something important. That's Mr. Frank. Basically, Mr. Frank ain't nothing but some good dick for mommy. Mr. Frank won't hesitate to put his hands on you if Mr. Frank don't get his way either. So I'm the guy who commented on your black leather jacket a month ago. Okay. Appreciate that. I don't remember that though. I might have missed that comment, but appreciate it. Appreciate your participation. And your patronage. But let me let you know something right now. And I pardon me if I'm barking up the wrong tree, but I ain't on no gay shit, and this ain't the place for that. So if you coming through with that, you wanna keep that moving. You want to keep it moving. This is not the place for that. We don't. Yeah. So I'm just saying, you know. So Carol Chamberlain says, Mr. Frank is an addiction. Maybe. If anything, Mr. Frank might be a pimp of sorts. You know how a pimp can get into, a woman's mind, finds exactly where their weaknesses are and where his advantages may lie. That's what a pimp do. And Mr. Frank may have found the source of emotion when it comes to our mother. Anyway, mommy promised us that he was done with Mr. Frank. None of the kids like Mr. Frank. I mean, we all right with Mr. Frank, but we know that Mr. Frank be having you crying and, like we don't like we don't like the way Mr. Frank moves. Like it's a bad thing when your kids can see how your love interest moves and you seem to be ignoring it. So your kids are like, that nigga on some bullshit, and you trying to throw him off the scent. Like, no, Mr. Frank, he's okay. He just grew up a certain type of way, and he's largely misunderstood. Like, nah, ain't nobody misunderstanding Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank has an overstanding of how you move, mom, and he know he can get away with whatever he wants to get away with. We got to get Mr. Frank on up out of there. So we're talking about what feels good and what feels right. When we're talking about what feels good and what feels right, we can often run into some problems. We can stumble when it comes to what feels good and what feels right. If y'all would like to call into the show, if y'all would like to add y'all 2 cents, I invite y'all to call in. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. It is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. And we're talking about going for what feels good and what feels right. Going for what feels good and what feels right. It ain't always easy. Mr. Frank, Miss Sandra, Daddy messing around with Miss Sandra. Miss Sandra treat my dad like shit. Miss Sandra be having my dad running around like a chicken with his head cut off. My dad do anything Miss Sandra want him to do. But my dad loved Miss Sandra. But Miss Sandra ain't no motherfucking good. I don't like the way Miss Sandra treat us. I don't like there's something about Miss Sandra. Mommy and Mr. Frank, Daddy and Miss Sandra. What's good? You know how hard it is to watch your parents being abused in any type of way, whether it's physical or whether it's emotional. You know, don't nobody listen, man. If seeing your parents cry or struggle don't do nothing to you or for you, honestly, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, if that doesn't do anything to you, if that doesn't pull at your heartstrings, you know, because you got kids out here that will really ride for their parents. Like, nah, you ain't gonna do that to my mom. Straight up. Or you ain't gonna do that to my dad. Straight up. And sometimes you got kids that will ride for their mom against their dad. Like, nah, I love my dad, but my dad is foul. And we know that shit he doing. And we gonna have to rally against Pop. He gonna be all right, because he's always all right, but he gonna have to be all right with somebody else. We ain't letting him do mommy like that. So he gonna have to straighten up and fly right. It happens. So finding what feels good and what feels right. What feels good and what feels right. Yeah. Robbie Ming says, stop defending Mr. Frank, Mom. Exactly. Stop defending what feels. I'm sorry. Stop defending Mr. Frank. You know Mr. Frank ain't representing. He don't be representing. You gotta do a little better. Mr. Frank and Mom. So yeah. So like I said, sex may feel good, but sex with the wrong person doesn't feel right. Let me ask y'all this. Have you ever had sex with somebody and the sex is good, but you try to get it over with fast? You try to get it over with quickly because have you ever tried to get it over with fast, even though it's good, because you're trying to get back to what feels right? You're trying to get back to what feels right, baby. Shit is real. Shit is real out here. You know what I'm saying? It's real. And it's a conflict that you have every inch of control over, but sometimes when things feel good, we relinquish our control. it would be nice to be able to trust something that feels good so much to the point where we don't mind losing control. You wouldn't mind losing control over your actions or your thoughts or your feelings or whatever if you knew that you could trust the person that you are losing control with. Yeah, Carol says everything that feels good ain't always good for you. Shoot, Carol, sometimes it be feeling like most things that feel good ain't good for you. What about that? And it's sad that we have to look at things that way. But it be that way. It be that way. And that's just something we got to deal with. It's something we got to deal with. So, yeah. Going for what's good and going for what feels good and for what feels right. You know, even even when it comes to money matters, you know, the way that you may try to make a living might feel good or it might be lucrative for you, but you know deep down in your heart of hearts it ain't right and it don't make you feel right. So maybe you're doing it for a limited amount of time. Because sometimes, you know, when it comes to money, sometimes we might do things for money that don't feel good or feel right. You're a stripper. Take off your clothes for a living, or you're a prostitute. Giving up the ass for a living, or you're a male stripper. Same thing. Getting a lot of attention. You definitely gonna get some ass out of it, but does it feel good? Would you want your kids to do it? Would you want your kids to do it? Selling drugs. Lucrative. Making a lot of money. Finally able to pay my bills. I'm even getting respect on the street. But one wrong sale or an accumulation of bad sales could end me up in a cell. My sales end me up in a cell. So getting the money might feel good, but the means that you took in order to get to the bag may not feel right. What the hell? Okay. Now this is interesting. Sander Bretzma says, 2 years ago, at age 19, I had an intimate interaction with my leather coat from the 1990s. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm finished reading the comment. 2 years ago, at age 19, I had an intimate interaction with my leather coat from the 1990s. Object fetishism. It felt good, but it didn't feel right. I have autism and OCD, by the way. Here's the weirdo thing. My dude, if you were 19 2 years ago, you weren't alive in the 90s. So maybe you're saying that the coat was from the 90s, but you were not from the 90s. Carol, I see what you're saying. It's heating up, baby. It's heating up. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. It's the Urban Therapy with Son show. And we are talking about going for what feels good and what feels right. Ready to do the right thing and feel good about it. Well, where you been all this time? I said, baby, where you been for all this time? She cuddled me close and say that you know. Here we are. Here we go. Once upon a time. All right. So, yeah, going for what feels good and what feels right. Have you been spending too much time? Have you been spending way too much time going for what feels good? Sex, drugs, money, all types of carnal desires, baby. Carnal desires. No. There are other things that may not be illicit, but there are things that you can do that feel good that may not feel right. Like, y'all know that I like to drink. I like to drive fast. I do. It feels great when I'm doing 100 miles plus, but it really don't feel right. Honestly, it don't feel right. Because number one, it's dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. Number two, did I say number two first? I meant number one, it's extremely dangerous. Number two, if I get caught, that ticket is going to be off the fucking chain. Off the chain, baby. Oh, hold on. I know what that means. I've been wondering what this noise is. And I think I know. I think I know. There we go. We good? My nigga, we good? Yeah, we good. We good, baby. We good, baby. All right. So, yeah. I could get into lots of trouble. Lots of trouble. Okay. Okay. So yeah. I like to drive fast. Feels great. Feels great. But there have been times when first of all, if you're going to drive in excess of even 70 miles per hour, you better make sure that everything on your car is right. Make sure that those tires are right. Make sure that those wheels are good. Very important, because at 100 miles per hour or even 70 or 80 miles per hour, if you have a tire blowout, it is over for you. You're not going to be able to have control of that vehicle. Maybe if you were a professional driver, you would know how to navigate, but you may be in traffic. So, even if you know how to steer the car correctly, other drivers may interfere with your ability to stay safe. So it's dangerous. So it feels good to drive that fast, especially with your sounds blasting, the bass, boom, boom, boom. But it don't feel right because of the consequences that that could come after that. So going for what feels good and for what feels right might be like, why don't you just do 80? You got some good rubber on the tires. Your alignment is intact. You know what I mean? Yeah, your engine ain't gonna blow, all that crazy shit. All right. I see that we have a caller on the line. Yes, we do. Caller. Well, we have two callers on the line. All right. Well, no, we just got one now. All right. Caller with the last numbers 4828. I'm going to take you. And if the other caller calls back, I put them on through also, too. All right. Caller with the last numbers 4828. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this Sunday morning?
Good morning, Sun. Okay, so for me, something that I've done that felt, it felt a certain way, but I probably should have been doing something else, was spending money.
Oh, shit.
There was a point in my life where, I was very, very disciplined, but I wound up dating someone who wasn't. And I allowed them to, I was influenced, like, oh yeah, shiny, this is shiny. Let me do this right now. And I knew better, but so I'll wind up getting into some poor spending habits. So that's one thing that I don't think that you had mentioned as an example. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people, you might be able to, relate to that. Sex is another. A lot of people ask me why I've been celibate. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but people that know that I've been celibate would ask me, like, how, why? It's because I'm sitting over here. What am I doing? Fucking. I know I'm supposed to be doing schoolwork. What am I doing fucking if I know I'm supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be, working on. My next finishing a project for work. So I said, this is too much of a distraction. I like this way too much. So I decided to cut it out. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I have T-Mobile. So
I'm thinking what happened? What we doing? What we doing?
So I wasn't sure if the call dropped. Sometimes my calls drop. Yeah, I don't know what your guys talking about that leather jacket. It's kind of weird. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's all I mean. That's all
I'm glad you brought up the whole spending money thing, because a lot of people have like shopping addictions and things like that. But it's funny when you take it to the whole spending money thing. When I think about myself, I've never gotten pleasure out of spending money. I get pleasure out of getting things with the money, but the spending money thing, no. But I do know people who actually like to spend the money. Like, it feels good to them. You know what I'm saying? What I'm not sure of is if it doesn't feel right for them. I think to them it feels good and it feels right. Because I think the reason that I've never gotten pleasure out of spending money is because I know that that's going to reduce something. That's going to reduce my ability to have something later on. And so I might be caught up in wondering if I'm spending it the right way, as opposed to maybe saving it and waiting until later. Because I've even as a child, I've always wanted the bargain shop. Whatever was cheaper was what I went for, even if you were spending your money on me. Because my thing was, well, damn, if it's too high, then you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna buy it for me. You understand what I'm saying? So I would always look for a way for you to be able to say yes, rather than be like, yo, you think I'm. Well, you know how your mom. I know my mom used to say it all the time, but I know a lot of parents used to say, what do you think? You must think I'm a money tree. You just come and shake it, and you know what I'm saying? No. You must think money grows on trees. Money grows on trees, baby. So
my parents never said that to me, but because I went to like thrift stores, shop for sales and everything. So my parents, they never said that to me. But I understand what you said, what you're talking about, because I had to say that to my children.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but but I have known people who really seem to enjoy spending money, like to the point where it be burning their pockets. Like soon as they get some, they gotta run out and spend that shit. And my grandmother was like that. I don't know if she was like that all her life, but she was definitely like that later on in her life. I would when she was alive, bless her heart, I would come through, give her a few dollars. She would be right out. Pew! I was like, I mean, no hesitation. No hesitation. Now she was only going to the market, what they call the grocery store. You know what I mean? To buy stuff for the family, food and stuff like that. But she would get rid of it. The quickly, like she was too old to save. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. I don't know how much time I got left. I gotta get rid of this shit. They say you can't die with it. Well, I'm gonna make sure I don't. But yeah, so but that's a very, very good example.
I don't like to actually see the money go away, but I'd like to be able to buy what I want. So, I want what I want, but I don't. But I sit there, pondering. But these days, I'm pretty good with budgeting. But when I was in that little dark hole, it's like I want this, but I don't want the money to go away. So there will always be a conflict of what feels right and what feels good, and if this is feeling good, being able to get what I want, but it doesn't feel right because this might affect this bill, or this might affect something else. So.
Yeah, it's but you probably know people who don't seem to give a shit about that though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they like.
I know people who do. They know that they don't have like the money to be rocking it out like that. Okay, so I don't know if you have a friend like this or know someone like this, where when you guys go out in the group, they like to play big spender. So no, I'll pay for the whole meal. Oh no, I'll pay for everybody's drinks. And I'm like, I rode here with you. I had to give you money for gas, bro. So like, what are you doing putting all this on your credit card? Because it feels good. It feels so good to them to be able to be the big spender.
Yeah.
But it's not right. Because now on the whole car ride home, just how not right it feels to them, because they knew damn well they weren't supposed to be spending that money.
Well, are we sure that it didn't feel right to them?
No, it felt good. It didn't feel right because, like I said, that car ride home is like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Well, did you, when I say, are we sure that it didn't feel right and good? That's what I meant. Even though they showed remorse on the ride home, can we be sure that remorse was really real?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. With the person that it's two people. With the two people that I'm talking about, yeah, they were lamenting during their car ride home.
So
it was real.
So was spending money for them and some other people, maybe, is that equivalent to like the high that you get from smoking or drinking or sniffing or something? Is it like drugs? Do they get caught up that way?
From the outside looking in, it looks like that's what it looks like to me, because this one girl in particular, she gets off on looking a certain way, like it's like a status thing for her. So she's so caught up in the high of looking like she's the shit that she doesn't come down from it until after it's done. So yeah, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've asked, well, why the hell did you spend it? Why'd you do that? You didn't have to do that.
Right.
They're like, oh, I just thought it would be easier, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to pay this in 2 weeks. And, well, shit. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Because you know, like taking it back to sex. You know how some people get caught up in it. You know what I mean? You know, you know, there's some people.
I have experienced what you asked earlier about trying to hurry up and rush through the sex. The sex is good, but it didn't feel right. So you're trying to get back to what feels right. Yeah. So I have experienced that. Why are you laughing?
Because it's so fucked up. Like,
it is fucked up.
You know,
I'm not big on cheating. Okay, but I have. And my sister will say that I wasn't actually cheating because, the relationship wasn't defined yet, but I knew that I was into this person or that those people. I shouldn't say people, but that person. But I fucked somebody else and the sex was damn good.
Ooh.
But that's not. Hold on. I mean, it was like really good, but I was just like, okay, all right, because as good as it wasn't what I really wanted. So it felt good, but it didn't feel right.
Okay.
What felt right was the person that I wanted to be with, and so there were some decisions that needed to be made because I wasn't going to keep indulging in something that didn't feel right. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so. Well, all right, taking that into consideration, you know how some people get so caught up in the sex act that, they wind up having sex with people who are predatory and they know it. There's some people who get so caught up that it compels them not to use protection when they know they should. You dealing with somebody that is shaky, you know what I'm saying? Or it might be somebody that you don't know. But you may have been drinking, or you might have been high off of something else. People wind up getting pregnant behind this shit, catching diseases behind this that kind of shit. You know what I mean? It can really go left. It can really
predatory
go
how?
Predatory, like
predatory in what way?
Okay, for example. All right. Because there are multiple examples I can do with this, but let's say let's say somehow you and your family members or your good friends man wound up together and he kicking it to you and the shit that he's saying sounded good to you. Maybe you're very attracted to him, you know what I'm saying? And he touches you and that touch is feeling good too. Now, goddamn well that this whole situation is fucked up. You know what I mean? And that this dude, well, you may have already known that he was the type that would try somebody because he didn't look like the faithful type, whatever. But now he's trying you. And this dude is touching all on you and all of that. And you kind of feeding into it. Now, it's feeling good, but it definitely doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, it's wrong, but it feels right. And you kind of feel like this guy is seducing you, even though you are a partially willing participant. What you not doing is being like, well, what the fuck you doing? No, I'ma tell. That's what you're not doing. You know what I mean? In your mind, you're rationalizing that, well, you was gonna see how far he was gonna go. Next thing you know, y'all fucking. So you knew he was predatory, you know what I'm saying? And so you wind up having sex with the dude, and it was actually all right. Now you see what she's seeing the boy. Not that you didn't visually see that before, but now you all caught up. You don't put yourself in a situation where you put yourself in front of a dude that was kind of predatory or whatever. Or if you're a man, it might have happened with a woman. Like you knew that just about anybody could fuck this chick. What you may not have known was that she was the type that would push the issue. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that there's that kind of example, or you could be talking about a situation where all right, I'm going to keep from saying you're in a a pedophile situation. You know what I mean? But let's take it a little bit farther. Let's say you are of age, 19. You know what? 21. Fuck it. This old head. 55. Handsome old head. Zaddy type. Well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He got you thinking about it. Thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. Yeah. So he know damn well he ain't got no business hollering at no 21-year-old, but he is. Maybe y'all work together, because a lot of people get over that kind of way. Well, she worked at my job. We worked at the same job. She an adult. She's 21 years old. Yeah, I'm a lot older than her, but like, yo, son, you got kids older than her. You got kids almost old enough to be their father or mother. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's a predatory type of thing.
I understand. I've been in that situation actually. I mean, I wasn't 21. I was like, I want to say 24, 25, and 52-year-old Zaddy, hollered at me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was smooth too. He was smooth.
See, he had them pimp intentions. You know what I'm saying? He knew what to say. He know what to do.
Yeah, if you can smooth talk me, that's a, you know what I mean? Like he yeah. So I got caught up for a short while.
So you can see, yeah, anybody can fall victim to this thing, but that's when you have to really wonder if it felt good and felt right at the same time. It may have actually felt good and right, depending on where your head is, depending on what your culture is, depending on what your upbringing is, depending on what you have been taught was right and was wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
It never felt right though. It felt good.
Okay.
But it didn't feel right.
Okay.
It never felt right. Even my parents met him. They knew the age difference. They actually weren't as critical of it as I thought. My dad, I really thought he was gonna be like, what the fuck? But no, they actually was like, well, you've always been very mature. And you haven't always related to your peers, so we can see how this would be attractive to you. And they just straight out said, we'll see how this plays out. So it only lasted like a few months, but it happened. Mm-hmm. But it never felt right to me, and so that's why it was easy for me to walk away from it. He wasn't happy about that, but it was easy for me to walk away from it. I was like, this ain't working. I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it can be confusing. So I don't like to take for granted for other people about whether something felt good and right to them, because I'm not in their head. You know what I mean? And I'm not using their defense mechanisms against things that people may hold against them. You know what I'm saying? Or question them about. I'm not in their head. I'm not there with them. So I always wonder, like, well, how do you get caught up like that? I never even understood. If you're anything like me, when we was teenagers, you knew teenagers that got caught fucking by their parents. And I'm like, how the fuck? How? And it was like, when we was doing it, it was like I couldn't hear nothing. I was like, as a teenager, like, shit, I could hear everything. I could hear a pin drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was good, but we wasn't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time we did it, we knew we had to be on alert. Like, there wasn't no relaxing teenage sex. It was always like, It was like, I don't know about everybody else, but me, it was a whole one pants leg on, one pants leg off type thing. So, you know, parents had to be moving pretty fast in order to catch somebody. It wasn't going to happen. You know, talk about looking for the window of opportunity. There was a real window, you know. Like this is an actual window. First floor, and back where the kitchen at, however it go. You know, you might have to climb in to get it, might have to jump out of it to get away, you know, that type shit. So yeah, but evidently there are people who do get so wrapped up in the moment or whatever that it might have been feeling good and feeling right. Maybe it didn't feel right immediately after you realize, oh my God, what have I done? Like, oh shit, you nutted in me? Like, how can you even question that? You know what I'm saying? Like, remember the part where you locked your legs around me? No? No? Nothing, huh? Okay. And yeah, you know, there are women who would do that shit. Like, listen, you ain't coming out. You're not. And I've seen them do that shit. And then afterwards be like, but you ain't have to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I guess more than one person can get caught up in the moment now, can't they? But yeah.
I don't know. Can't relate.
Cool. Regardless, there are people who, you know, they take that moment to where they take it. You know, YOLO, you only live once, whatever. A lot of people, you know, take on those types of mantras. But does it feel good and feel right when they're doing it? Are they conscious of it? But, excuse me, because I'm thinking if something feels good but doesn't feel right, I'm thinking that your conscious level is probably elevated during those times. Mm-hmm. When something
you mean like when you run a red light or something like that?
Well, I don't think running a red light ever feels good. It don't feel good enough to me. You know what I mean? Like, and what have I accomplished here? Maybe I might be too selfish to feel like running a red light is feeling good. I'm not interested in bucking the system in order to feel good. Like, I need something that's strictly for me when I'm going to feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you.
It's got to be personal as fuck.
So many people do it like it's nothing. So I wonder if they really get like high off of running these red lights or stop signs and things like that.
Yeah. When you get that ticket in the mail with them red light cameras, though, it'd be like, listen, I avoid Roosevelt Boulevard altogether now because it doesn't feel good or right anymore. Like, I hate it. Mm-hmm. This fucking camera road here, I fucking hate it. I'm taking 95. I don't give a fuck how long it takes for me to get to 95. I'm taking 95. I'm not taking Roosevelt Boulevard. You're not going to have me going no 45 miles per hour for this stretch of road. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like, oh shit, was I doing 50 in that part? Was that the part with the camera? Nah. But anyway.
I thought those cameras only took your picture if you ran the light. Do they take your picture for speed too?
Yeah, they got speed cameras now. Ask me how I know.
Oh.
Go ahead, ask me.
Oh.
Ask me. $100.
Oh.
$100. Doing 52 in a 40 or 45. What's some bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would explain that ticket.
It might.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It might. So, yeah.
I was like, I did not run that light, but I drive fast, so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah.
Clear some stuff up for me.
Roosevelt Boulevard is over. I swear, I avoided like the plague. Like, nope. I'm not going to Home Depot there. I'm not going to the damn Old Country Buffet. I'm not going to the Best Buy, nothing. If it's on Roosevelt Boulevard, I'm taking another way to get there. You know what I'm saying? Where I can cross the boulevard, but I ain't going up there if I can avoid it. Anyway, so yeah, that's a different kind of feeling good for me. But everybody has their own thing. You know, being a rebel, which is essentially what running a red light on purpose is. Being a rebel might make some people feel really good. Does it feel right? I don't know. There's a chance that it might feel good and feel right to them. There's a chance. You know, for me, I wouldn't know nothing about it. What can I say? I don't know. But yeah, so different people are going to do them. It's going to play out in different ways. There is no cookie cutter. There is no, just preset way to feel good and right about something. But when we are younger, what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad is so clearly drawn. Our parents teach us what's good and what's bad. They teach us what's right and what's wrong. When we go to school, they teach us what's good and what's bad. They teach us when we're being good, when we're being bad. They teach us when we're right and when we're wrong. As we grow older, the lines become so much more blurred because there's so many more different situations that we are placed in. There's so many different circumstances that we involve ourselves in. There's so many different feelings that we have to explore once we start to learn what love is, and once things start going from strictly black and white to gray areas and other colors that we may not have even thought of, okay, since we were talking about you brought up cheating a little bit before. Let's say somebody cheated on you and they've been cheating on you regularly, and so you revenge cheat. Like, well, fuck it, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Will it feel good? Will it feel right? Is there a chance that it could feel both ways? Maybe for some, maybe not for others, maybe not for anybody. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because and I'm the only reason I'm bringing up something like revenge cheating is because more than likely you'll do that after you gain a certain maturity enough to even have sex. But as an adult, you start thinking about more issues of fairness. Like you might not even want to cheat, but you may feel like you have to in order to set a precedent or to teach someone a lesson in which you would have to actually let them know that you cheated in response to them cheating in order to get that off. But even if you didn't do that, maybe you're doing this for yourself. Like you ain't the only one who can play that game. So you go ahead and cheat. And maybe you cheated. Maybe you're going to cheat with somebody that you've been attracted to for a long time, or has been. Maybe there's a mutual attraction there, and you've been telling them for months or however long that no, I mean, even though I like you, I can't do nothing because I'm with this person. I don't get down like that. Blah 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 blah. So this time you said you called him or her up, and said, you know what you doing tonight? Like nothing. And you know how somebody calls you with that voice where you know that they're ready to do something that they haven't done before, you know what I mean? Or they're ready to, they're ready to finally be the partner in crime that you've been trying to get them, like, well, if you ain't doing nothing tonight, I'm available tonight for whatever. Like, what? What?
I know what you're talking about. I've never been able to bring myself to actually revenge cheat. Not that I haven't thought of it. Unfortunately, I've been cheated on. And while you're upset, the thought of it feels right. The thought of it feels right and good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can do it too. You're not the only person who's the shit. But I've never been able to actually pull the trigger. But the thought of it did please me for to a point.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's a tough situation, because there's a conflict there. It feels good, kinda. Well, does it even really feel good? Like if you revenge cheat, revenge cheat and you revenge cheat with somebody who doesn't even really know how to fuck, does the whole plan
anybody
just
doing that? Who's doing that?
it could you may not have known. You might not have known.
Nah, listen.
So you better go if you want revenge cheat. You better go back to a reliable source.
Yup. When I have thought of it, I was like, I know exactly who to go to. You, or you. There's no way I'm going to take the chance and have this be a doubly fucked up situation.
I'm done.
So now, we're not doing that. I mean, now you sitting here buying the guy that cheated on you a new watch and all kinds of stuff because you feel guilty because he cheated, but at least he know how to fuck you. Because this other guy that you revenge cheated with, he don't know how to fuck. No, we're not doing that. That's just too much. Nah. If I did it, I would know exactly who to go to. But I just ain't got it in me. Plus, I don't want to be fucked. I don't want to do fucked up shit just because the other person did something fucked up.
Yeah. I'm talking about in a situation where you don't feel like you have a choice. Maybe your feelings have been hurt so bad that you just feel like you got to do something. You know what I mean? And the something that you have to do may not involve leaving that person because you just ain't ready to leave. People get caught up in that. I got to do something, but I can't do that.
But feeling like you don't have a choice, though?
Well,
because you always have a choice.
We do, but not everybody feels the variety of choices that are available to them based on how they're feeling about the situation that they're in. So whereas you may be able to think all outside of the and explore all types of options, other people may feel like, no, these are the only options I have because where my head is right now, I can't see left or right or up or down, back and forth, in and out. I can't see none of that. I either have to do this or that. Engine number 9 down the New York Transit line. If the train fall out the track, pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Back on the scene. Anyway,
don't play rock, don't play the pebble. But anyway, So everybody as human beings, we try to find the most comfortable situation that we can be in. And unfortunately, many people find the discomfort in situations the most familiar situations to be in, which adds a certain level of comfort for them. It's displaced, but it's their reality. And just because it may not be our reality doesn't mean that it's not real, because it's real to them. So the options that you're talking about are available to them, but they can't see that. And they may not be able to see it even if you recommended it to them personally. They may not be able to see that. Like, yo, if I do that, then that's going to fuck up everything. You must be crazy. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. You said something that I thought was interesting. You said, now I will wind up having to buy something for my man because I revenge cheated with this. Like other women be like, I ain't gotta buy him nothing. Shit, fuck that. Yeah, the revenge it fell by the wayside, but at the end of the day, another man put his hands on me, which is still a revenge factor. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't rewarding this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to not let him know what happened. Next time I revenge cheat, I'll make sure that I have an orgasm and then my man can find out.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's rough. It really is, you know. But these are adult situations, and adult situations,
Yeah.
you don't know where they're going to take you. You just don't. You just don't know where your life is going to go. So we try to find the easiest road based on our familiarity and to lessen our margin of error. Like we're trying to reduce the chance of it not going right. So yeah. Trying to go for what feels good and what feels right. They just don't always come together. They're not always in conjunction with each other. It's not as seamless as we may want it to be, or the way it may sound to others. It can be tough, but this is how we learn.
Yeah, I agree. I want to thank you, one, for always entertaining me, and you really do have some wonderful topics pretty much all the time. I don't know how you do it, and but especially today because I'm really going through something. So I needed to laugh and talk. So I just want to say thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, and I want to thank you for being down, participating, and helping the show go along. Just for y'all participation, I really appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Shit is real because plenty of times I've questioned myself about even this show. Like, it feels good, but does it feel right? You know what I mean? Like on some of those days where the numbers might be extremely low, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So, so everybody needs that little reminder that what they're doing is important, that it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody needs that. And our darkest moments are filled with those times when we are unsure about almost everything that's important to us at the time. Like, yo, I can't figure this thing out. You know what I mean? My life's work for right now is this thing, and I just can't. I have no answers. Answers. Jeff Hawkins says cheating is a personal choice. It is. It is. It doesn't mean that it can't be influenced, though. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that at all. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you're going to have to take responsibility for it, but it does not mean that you can't be pushed into it. It doesn't mean that you can't be seduced. It doesn't mean that there are no other characters or players to place blame besides you. The problem comes when you try to blame everybody except for you, as if you were totally powerless. But there are plenty of times and plenty of situations and plenty of people who can make us feel like we are less powerful than we really are. You find yourself in them situations, That's why it's like, okay, like for example, when you just gave me that compliment about the show and all of that, you're like, I don't always know if it's important to everybody. People may think that I feel that way all the time, but it could be a facade. And in many ways it is. Like, nobody knows what somebody else is thinking all the time. So yeah, cheating is definitely a personal choice, but the influence is to cheat. Shit. I mean, think about it. If you started having sex as a teenager, you were probably influenced to cheat all the way back then. Like, you know what I mean? Whether you had friends that was doing things, whatever. Let's say, okay. Let's say you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. And let's say you 16, 17 years old, whatever. And you are somehow or for some reason separated from your boyfriend or your girlfriend. And one of your friends needs you to help double date with them. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta do nothing, but I need you to, keep her busy while I get busy. All right, well, but what she look like? Now here it is. You don't have no intentions to cheat, but you want to make sure that whoever you about to not cheat with is good looking, right? Well, anyway, like if I'm gonna get caught up, accused of cheating, it might as well be with somebody who, well, you understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, so or you might have a friend that just keep it straight, true with you. Like, listen, you all caught up with this girl or this guy that lived one state over, and this is back in the days of long distance and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, they ain't gonna know, and you don't know what they doing over there. Blah blah blah. Listen, man. Shorty. Her friend like you. I showed her your picture, and she down for whatever. Man, you gonna dig this? I mean, just go ahead and do what you do. This just be between us. I mean, you know what I mean. And so until that situation that you all in love with come back, just go ahead and handle this. Plus, I need you tonight. I need you to handle. You take care of her. That's going to allow me to take care of mine. You ain't had no intentions of cheating, but you was definitely influenced.
All of those examples you've given, though, it still is a personal choice. People cheat because they wanted to, like, period. So it doesn't make a difference how much, what influenced you. You still made that choice. So you are responsible for your own actions.
I agree, but I just think that influences have a direct impact on your choices. And that can be
your choice.
That can be in a good way or in a bad way. Like you can decide not to do something bad because of your love or because of the way that that it will affect other people. Yeah, it was your personal choice not to do something bad, but it was influenced by the lives that you knew would be affected by it. If it works one way, like I said, I agree that it's a personal choice. Doesn't mean that it doesn't have influences. Doesn't mean that. Because
listen, I understand that what you're saying. I'm just saying when it all boils down to the nitty gritty, it's all on you. That's all I'm saying. So,
I'm going to tell you why I don't say that. Because if
90 seconds.
All right. If a child decides, well, no, okay. If a child is molested or sexually assaulted by an adult, how isn't that his personal choice? You ain't have to let him do that to you. You could have told.
But we're talking about cheating. We're only talking about cheating. We're not talking about that.
But see, here's my thing. You can't just reduce it to cheating. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what we were talking about. The person says cheating is a personal choice. So my commentary just now was specifically about cheating.
Okay.
Specifically about cheating, not about any other example. I understand perfectly well the example you just gave, but that's not what we were talking about. We were specifically about cheating. It is a choice. Don't care about the influences. At the end of the day, when it comes to cheating, when you make the choice to whip it out or let them stick it in, that was your choice. Unless it's forcibly, put on you, it was your choice.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So wait a minute. Is cheating
10 seconds?
Is cheating like, because a lot of people believe in emotional cheating. Is cheating talking to somebody on the phone or over the internet or is that cheating?
No, not to me.
Okay, now you realize to a lot of people. Okay, all right. Okay, then cool then.
I know. No, I do. I do believe in emotional cheating. To me, emotional cheating is way worse. I would rather for my dude to fuck 10 bitches than to love another one, like be in love with another one, and to engage consistently with another woman.
Okay. All right. What that?
No, because I mean, sex is sex. It doesn't mean that there are always emotions involved. But when somebody is showing love and affection to another person, Now it's about more than just sex. Now it's about your heart, and I don't want to compete with somebody else for his heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't look at it that way. You know what I mean?
Okay, you don't have to, but you were asking me.
No, so. Okay, but that's what I'm saying, because we have to, if we don't have the same ideas of what cheating is, we may not have the same ideas of, you know, what the personal choice might be, and evidently we don't. So I don't give a fuck who you love or adore or all that shit. You fuck that motherfucker. That's the problem.
Okay, so if your girl was like spoke to another dude every night, like every day, and I'm not talking about a whole bunch of dudes, just one other person, and they talked every day. I love you too. You know, I can't wait to see you. That type of stuff. Or, you know, I was having these and these, that, and the other thought about you, about the last time we whatever. That's cheating to you?
This is what needs to happen in order for you to cheat on me.
So, so that's a no. So what
now, actually, if you kiss him, yeah, you cheated too. But there has to be some physical act for me. Because other than that, you were on your way to cheating. You haven't finished the job. Any woman that fucks with me, they not just telling no dude they love them and all of that kind of shit. They gonna fuck them. Because they sure didn't do all of that shit with me. Huh?
I was waiting for you to explain what you meant by that.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, they ain't do that with me. Like, all of that, you know, I love you and all of that kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. All that came before sex. Only time when all of that, I love you and I can't wait to see you shit, that's all online shit to me. You know, that's all online shit. And a lot of times that online shit a lot of times it never materializes. Now, if you want to jump on planes, trains, and automobiles in order to go realize to go, you know, fuck up that online crush, that's on you. But that's what it's going to take for you to actually be indicted for cheating on my behalf. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, if you doing all of that with somebody who hasn't put their hands on you yet, you haven't finished the job. It ain't cheating enough. It might be enough for me to
old love. What if somebody they used to fuck with?
You still haven't finished it. Now, when y'all get back together and actually do it, yeah. But over the phone, they still in California, Detroit, you know, down south and all that. And I'm like, yeah, they on their way to cheating. But it ain't done yet.
Oh, I got another one. Because you like to give examples. So what about if she's talking, if the guy calls her while she's driving in the car, and you walk up to the car, and they're on the phone, and she's like, "All right, let me give you a call back," and he's like, "All right, cool. You know, hope maybe we'll see each other later on," and then, "All right, cool," and then they just hang up. You're not feeling any kind of way about that?
Yeah, I'm feeling some kind of way about it, but I'm not feeling some kind of way about her cheating. I'm feeling some kind of way about her getting ready to cheat. Because the question, let me tell you this. The question I would have to ask her is, are you cheating on me? If I saw her fucking him, wouldn't have to ask that. Or if I knew she was fucking him, wouldn't have to ask that. They didn't know, are you cheating on me? Yes, you are. Now I have to deal with whether, like, what I'm going to do about this. Am I going to make a move, or am I going to, you know, are we going to try to work this out? More than likely, you know, it's a wrap with me. But yeah.
Hold up, it's a wrap if you heard that conversation?
No. It's a wrap if I know that you've already had sex with the boy. If I know that y'all have already gotten physical. Like I said, if
Okay.
you know all you know, hugging and kissing and all of that, that's cheating to me. But it has to, for me, cheating has to have the physical element. I realize that it's not like that for everybody, but for me, it has to have it, because other than that, I haven't lost shit. I just haven't. You still coming? You still, if you're not mistreating me, if you're not avoiding me, if you're not giving me the runaround, I haven't lost nothing. Now, if you gave the pussy away, I'm like, oh, well, no, wait a minute.
That's interesting. That's interesting because women, some women, not all of them, but some women would, with somebody like you, would still engage with you sexually, but engage with the other person emotionally. But you don't care about that. That's what it sounds like.
Well, nobody engages with me just sexually. It doesn't. That's just not, I don't know nothing about that. I'm not even being arrogant about it. It's just the truth. No, I don't.
Oh, it sounds like you are.
Okay, well, I mean, if the truth is my arrogance, it is. But my experience is, I don't nobody just fuck me. It doesn't work out that way. Maybe it might have wanted to start out that way or whatever, but quickly, no. We are where we are, for real. So I don't know what it's like to be, I used in that capacity. I don't know nothing about it, but who I've dealt with was all in. Even if I wasn't all in, they was with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but to deal with me physically and to deal with the next man emotionally, and I don't know nothing about it. And I mean nothing. I know nothing. If it has happened, it hasn't happened to my knowledge. But I've never been, in a situation where somebody was just, where I was an afterthought or a second. Just I don't know nothing about it. If I was, like I said, sure didn't feel like it. I haven't been in situations where I had to chase a joint around, or you know what I'm saying, because I honestly, my ego is too big for that. I'm like, I'm gonna let you go. You go handle that. Mm-hmm. You go and deal with that situation, and I'm gonna go do what I'm doing. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'll be doing it, and I won't be waiting for you to come back. You go ahead and do what you're doing. And in all situations, that might not have been that might not have even been the fair choice, but that's the way it go. And in a in a situation where there's infidelity, right and wrong is not exactly what is not what I think is going to matter as much. You understand what I'm saying? That's hey, that's when the lines are going to be very, very blurred, and discretion is going to be extremely heightened. Like, well, this might not be a good time for you to talk about what's right and what's wrong. But one thing is for sure, like when it comes to cheating, if you haven't been physical with the boy, in my mind, you haven't finished cheating yet. You on your way, and I might make a move based on that. But what I'm not going to do is run around calling you a cheater. Not yet. I might say, no, they got it in them. You know what I mean? But yeah, they were seen in green eggs having breakfast on a Saturday morning. Like, that's really all it was. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, those the influence based on the choice. I now see why we see it differently. So yeah, okay, all right. So
that's fine.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. It's all good. All right, we got to do these birthday shout outs now because I actually started on time today. So yeah, I mean, I know y'all wasn't prepared for all that, but I did. So we got to get on up out of here. But I appreciate you calling in once again. Appreciate it mucho. So thanks for coming through. And you have a wonderful,
Thank
wonderful,
you.
wonderful day. All right. Take care.
You too.
All right. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 27th. And they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. Robert. The little Baron? What the hell? Yeah. Oh. Robert the Oil Baron Springfield. Turning 34 years old today. And Richard Adams turning 51 years old today. And Rodrigo McIntyre turning 34 years old today. No relation. And China Milan turning 30 years old today. And Twin Gant, happy birthday to you. And Zella Johnson, happy birthday. I'm sorry, Zela Johnson, happy birthday to you. And Lorraine Jenneret turning 52 years old today. And Josette Murray, happy birthday to you. And Shamel Richmond, happy birthday. And Hanukkah Pimentel, happy birthday to you, turning 34 years old today. And Phi Furioso, turning 36 years old today. And Tamia Williams, turning 46 years old today. And Sylvester Fuller, my man, turning 59 years old today. And last but not least, going all the way back to the 1981, my girl Kia Gaines. My girl Kia Gaines Thompson, happy birthday to you, Ma. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious. June 27th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. Going for yours, going for what feels right. Going for what feels good and what feels right. It's not always the easiest job to do. It's a job that we all need to do. And we may all strive to do, but it's not always the easiest job. You know, we have influences. People are in our ears over here, in our ears over that. We see things right here. We try to make things clear. We read books, and we watch life. We experience life, and we're watching it in real time. And the thing about experiencing things in real time is that you have to make real time decisions. Do we always do it? Just like me and the caller were talking about, sometimes we lament over the decisions that we made after we get caught up doing what we felt like we wanted to do, needed to do, or should have done. But until we make our life's work to fuse, combine, and connect what feels good and what feels right, we're probably going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. And hopefully those mistakes don't come back to haunt you real bad. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all back to life. I appreciate y'all coming through. I really do. So y'all have a great Sunday. We will be back tomorrow on Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Daily Go Getimism Show. This has been another installment of the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and hit that notification bell too. It'll let you know when we coming on and doing what we do. So let me get my Blog Talk Radio people on up out of here and how it go. Peace, Blog Talk.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
For my
Goodbye.
Instagrammers, Fi Slammer Jammer, I know what you do and you know how I am a word. And for all my YouTubers, y'all know how we do, but get with y'all later, man. Have a great day. Be safe out there, y'all. Peace.